What's going on YouTube? Brandon Lechuga. Just wanted to bring you a quick video. 5 things I hate about the Dodge Nitro. I did have a lot of other videos that I was getting ready to upload, but my phone actually, for some reason, like crashed, and it was a bad day. I had lots of different videos. One of them that I was going to bring you guys was a car meet in Lafayette, Colorado. It had Hellcats, they had Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Vipers, tons of GTRs, Skylines, Acuras, NSXs, everything. They had all the cars there, Toyota Supras. There were so many different cars there. I did a walk around of all of them, but now that video is gone. My phone, like I said, my phone crashed, so everything that I had, had saved and planned on uploading gone. So this is actually one of them. So here's 5 things that I hate about the Dodge Nitro. Number 1, my biggest thing, well, one of the biggest things is this door. As you can see, my head would hit the door, but I have plenty of space above my head. Once you get in, you're good. Plenty of space inside the car, but that door is really small, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I don't bend over, I don't sit properly, but I'm always hitting my head on that door. I really have to watch it when I get in. I don't know why, it's just such a big deal, but the doors are kind of small, so on the front, so you kind of hit your head every once in a while. I do, at least. That's one thing I hate, is the size of the door and how they decided to place it. I mean, I think they should have made the door a little bit bigger, make it a little bit taller, but it is what it is. Like I said, once you get in the car, you have plenty of room once you get in. It's just the size of the door, I think, is really horrible and really small. One of the other things I really hate about the car is everything's really easy to do on this car. Draining the oil, spark plugs, changing the battery, modifying your intake, throttle body space. Everything's really simple. Everything's right there. The one thing that they made really, really difficult to do is to get the oil filter out. So there's 2 ways to get the oil filter out. One is you have to like squeeze by, which again, that's one of the other videos that I lost that's now gone. Same with, I'm not even gonna go on, sorry. But back to the video. So one of the things is you have to like scoop, like twine your hand in through the front bumper, go around stuff. Really difficult to get to, really a pain in the butt. Or you have to remove your coolant reservoir in the front. So that's really the only 2 ways to get to your filter, unless you have really, really small hands, really small and really long arms. That's the only way to get to it. Really a pain in the butt. All the other vehicles I've worked with, the Challenger, even the Geo Tracker, the Silverado, the GTR, everything, even that supercar, the oil filter is way easier to get to than the Dodge Nitro. So I think that's a huge flaw that they did design that, especially if there's someone that's not really, too hands-on kind of person with, are you gonna stop? Yeah. Someone that's not really too hands-on with vehicles, and they know the basics of where to find the oil filter usually and where to drain it. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult for them to do an oil change because of the location of the filter. So that's one of the more annoying things that I think they should have, made a little bit more simple, a little bit more easy to get to, a little bit more accessible, all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. I still do the oil changes on the car myself. Yes, it is a pain in the butt. Yes, it's a lot more difficult to get to, but at the end of the day, it's still, drain the oil, let that go first, and then go to your filter. Just do it that way, because while it's draining out of the pan, that gives you time to try to get to the filter and have the pan be completely drained and everything. So yeah, it sucks, but it's not horrible. The other thing I don't really like, just kind of a small deal, but to me it's kind of a big deal, especially at night, just because at night when you're trying to find something in the trunk, there's 2 lights in this car. There's a dome light up here, which is nice, and the one in the back is kind of weak, but I feel like they should have there should be 3 dome lights in this car instead of 2, because the trunk is really big, and I think that the one of the dome lights should have been right there in the back so you can see everything that you need, and I think that the other one should be right in the center of the back seat, so when you're in the back seat you can see everything. They make it kind of difficult with only 2 dome lights in a car that's actually kind of long. This car is pretty long, so I think it could have used 3 dome lights. That's just what I think. I've thought about adding extra lights in the back just to, you know, get a little bit more light, because when I get in the trunk at night and stuff, the dome light back there just doesn't really work. You know, it is nice to have them, but it's like in the middle. So it's in the middle of the back seat, so it doesn't really work for the back, doesn't really work for the, you know, the back seats. So it's kind of left in limbo, and I'm like, well, that's a pain in the butt. But you know, other than that, it's pretty. I mean, during the day, it's not bad because, of course, you have daylight and stuff. But that's one thing I wish they would have done, just because it's kind of a pain in the butt trying to deal with it. One of the other things that would never really be a problem for most people, as long as you plan on keeping it stock, I guess, is the headlights. I can't really stand the headlight setup. It's a pain in the butt, just because you know, if you're gonna leave your stock headlights on, this is not even gonna be a problem ever. Not really a deal, but my headlights are pretty jacked up. They're pretty fogged up, and they need to be replaced. I've tried cleaning them. I've tried everything. It's just not working. So I plan on replacing them. But to replace them, you have to take out the whole front grille. Now that's kind of a pain in the butt, I think, just because, you know, and I have dealt with other headlights like that where you have to take out the whole front grille. These ones like are embedded in the front grille, so kind of a pain in the butt. Like I said, the Silverado ones, really simple, really easy. There's like 3-4 bolts, pull them out. So it's kind of annoying how this one you have to take out the whole front grille, and then, like I said, they actually come out in the grille, so then you have to take them out of the grille when you get to it. You know, like I said, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Most people won't ever run into that problem just because they are not going to be removing their headlights. I mean, changing a light bulb, really easy. Each side takes about maybe, well, I think the left side the left side's a little bit more difficult. The right side, there's more space. So the passenger side has more space. The driver's side, the battery's kind of in the way, but still it takes about 5 minutes to do both sides. Really simple, really easy, not a problem. So as long as you plan on keeping your actual headlight unit stock, you won't ever run into this problem. You know, it's just one of those things for me where it's kind of annoying when they start making every part has to go together, instead of like they can't just have headlights by themselves, and they just can't have the grille by itself. They just intertwine everything. I ran into that problem on my Nissan Titan. Really pain in the butt. It took me an hour and a half just to swap out the headlights, so that was rather annoying because I had to take everything apart in the front, which, if I'm going to take the grille apart, I might as well just work on the car. So it's probably what I'll do with the Dodge Nitro. When I take out the headlights or swap them out, I'll probably just work on the engine a little bit, make sure all the hoses are tight and everything. So one of the last things, you know, like I said, there was the door, the light, the oil change, pain in the butt. Oh, excuse me. And then the grille. But the last thing that's annoying, and I usually say this in every car that doesn't have it, is the window tint. So it's nice that this car came tinted with all the windows in the rear. All of them in the back are tinted, which is really nice, super nice. And I don't blame a Nitro for this, or I don't blame the actual vehicle for this. But yeah, the front window could use some tint. You know, you can see the sun's hitting me. It's really bright. When there's headlights behind me, sometimes, luckily I'm not as low as my wife's Mini Coupe, but sometimes, you know, with the lifted trucks, you catch that light in your eyes from the headlight and stuff. So I think it'd be a good thing to tint the windows and have those be, you know, probably 30% tint. I think that'd be good. But yeah, that's, again, it's not the car's fault. It's not. It just, they decided not to tint them, and in some states, actually tinting the front windows is illegal. So that's why a lot of people don't do them. But my mom has her front windows tinted. My dad has his. The truck has the front windows tinted. So yeah, I'm just gonna get these windows tinted, and you know, if you do it yourself, it's like a $12 thing, maybe $15 at most. But tinting windows is not easy. I've done it on my Geo Tracker by myself. Not fun. Tore apart the door, tore apart the window assembly, took the glass out. Did it that way, put the glass back in. It turned out good, but it's a long process for doing 4 windows like that and then trying to get the rear panels like that. So it's really difficult, not super easy, but getting it professionally done, you know, 2 windows would be like maybe $80 to get tinted. So yeah, nothing too crazy expensive, but it makes a world difference like when you get those done. Like I said, mainly because it'll keep your heat out in the summer, it'll keep the heat out of your car, and it'll keep lights from blinding you at night when you are driving. If there's like a lifted truck or something behind you with HIDs, it'll prevent that. But yeah, you know, that's just 5 things I don't really like about the Dodge Nitro. Again, the biggest thing probably is the convenience of the oil filter and then the door. Those are the 2 biggest things that I really can't stand about the car. Everything else is workable. Like I said, the window tint, easily done. Don't change out your headlights. That's one thing you don't have to deal with. And then the light, you can always add an extra light, like right here, which is what they should have done. You just tap into the wires, cut a hole, and add a light, which is, again, what they should have done. Really annoying that they didn't do that, because they only have the front and then that back one you can see way back there. They need one right about here. But other than that, you know, it's a great car. I like it. It seems to get me from point A to point B. And yeah, just stay tuned for the build on this vehicle. Oh, it's really windy out. But thanks for watching 303 Streets. This is Brandon Lechuga. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions, or if you find that there's something that you hate about the Dodge Nitro, let me know. I'd love to hear it. So thanks for checking out the channel, and have a good day.